What if peace, happiness, and meaning weren't in the future, but right here, right now? In a world obsessed with doing, rushing, and chasing, the power of now invites us to pause, breathe, and awaken to the present. Today on BookLia, we explore the life-changing message behind Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, a spiritual guide that has sold over 3 million copies and changed lives across the globe. Let's begin. Published in 1997, The Power of Now wasn't an overnight success. But once Oprah Winfrey praised it on national television, it exploded in popularity, reaching millions seeking peace and presence. The book is not a traditional narrative. It's a spiritual dialogue, a conversation between the reader and Tolle's quiet, powerful insights. It speaks not to the mind, but to the soul. Tolle had no background in philosophy or religion. In fact, he wrote the book after a period of deep depression and awakening. One night, while battling suicidal thoughts, he had a moment of silence that changed everything. I cannot live with myself any longer. If I cannot live with myself, who is the I and who is the self? That single question unraveled his ego and awakened his consciousness. Eckhart Tolle was born in Germany in 1948 and later moved to England. For most of his early life, he struggled with anxiety and existential dread. He studied literature, philosophy, and psychology, but found no peace in knowledge. Then, at the age of 29, came the night that changed everything. A voice inside said, "Resist nothing." He awoke the next morning in stillness. The suffering was gone. The ego, quiet. For the next 2 years, he wandered in a state of bliss, sitting on park benches and watching the world without judgment. People began asking him for advice. He became a spiritual teacher, not from doctrine, but from direct experience. The Power of Now was born from this stillness. This book isn't about believing something new, it's about experiencing life differently. Tolle teaches that most human suffering comes from identification with thought, especially the mind's obsession with the past and future. We live as if happiness is always later. But the truth is, life only exists in the now. Nothing ever happened in the past, it happened in the now. Nothing will ever happen in the future, it will happen in the now. The ego resists this truth. It wants drama, control, identity. But the present moment, the now, is where peace lives. Here are 5 profound life lessons from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. A guide to awakening, inner peace, and the timeless truth that freedom begins in this moment. 1. You are not your thoughts. We live most of our lives in our heads, reacting to every thought, every emotion, as if they define us. But Eckhart Tolle says, that voice in your head? That's not you. The true you is the awareness behind the thoughts. The silent witness. The one who observes, not the one who overthinks. The beginning of freedom is the realization that you are not the thinker. When you begin to notice your thoughts without identifying with them, you create space. Space for peace. Space for stillness. Space for choice. The lesson? Just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. You are not your anxiety, your doubt, your regret. You are the awareness behind them all, and that is where freedom begins. 2. Pain is created by resistance. Life brings challenges. But according to Tolle, the real suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from how we resist them. When we say, "This shouldn't be happening," we fight the moment. And that resistance creates a second layer of pain, the kind that steals our peace. Whatever you resist persists. Tolle teaches that acceptance isn't about giving up. It's about seeing clearly. When we stop saying no to reality, we stop fueling our suffering. The message? Acceptance doesn't mean you like what's happening. It means you stop fighting it in your mind. That's where true peace begins, in non-resistance. 3. The past and future are illusions. We spend so much of our lives haunted by the past or worried about the future. But Tolle reminds us, the past is just memory. The future? Just imagination. Time isn't precious at all, because it is an illusion. The more you are focused on time, past and future, the more you miss the now. The only place life actually happens is in the present moment. Every joy, every breath, every opportunity for healing, it all lives here. The insight? You can't heal the past by revisiting it. You can't control the future by fearing it. You can only transform your life by coming fully into this moment. 4. Presence is the greatest power. In a distracted, reactive world, presence is radical. It's what separates those who merely survive from those who truly see. When you're present, you stop being a puppet of your emotions. You become an observer, a conscious participant. Presence is the key to freedom, so you can only be free now. In presence, you find clarity. You soften your reactions. You become still, even when life isn't. The takeaway? Peace doesn't require a retreat or a miracle. It requires just one thing, being fully here in your own body with your own breath. That's where your power lives. 5. Awakening is a process, not an event. Tolle never claims to have all the answers. In fact, he tells us, spiritual awakening is not a sudden explosion. It's a practice, a returning. You will forget. You will get lost in thought. You will fall asleep again. But every time you remember the now, every moment you return to your breath, you deepen your awareness. Life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. The path isn't about staying present 24/7. It's about remembering, again and again. Final lesson? You don't need to chase peace or force awakening. You just need to come back to now. That return is the practice. That return is enlightenment in motion. The power of now has changed how millions think, breathe, and live. It's been translated into over 33 languages, sold millions of copies, and sparked a global movement toward mindfulness and awakening. Eckhart Tolle now teaches worldwide, but always reminds us that no external teacher can replace the present moment. He writes, "The now is more precious than anything imagined. It is life itself." So let me ask you, what lesson from the power of now resonated with you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more powerful stories and timeless insights, subscribe to BookLia. This is BookLia, one book, big insights.